Oh, finally, Wurmple is evolving. Oh, I sure hope it's a Cascoon. I really, really, really want a Dustox. Oh, okay. Yeah, Silcoon. Awesome. Well, this is your room. I love Wurmple. I believe that once upon a time it was a really overlooked Pokemon, dare I say even forgotten. Nowadays I sense we're going through a Wurmple renaissance. Rewormsance, perhaps. Wurmple has 2 evolutions that are determined at random by its personality value, which is a hidden value, so you never truly know which cocoon you'll get. I think it is high time we get some brand new evolutions for our beloved bug, and I have some ideas brewing as to what it could turn into, so let's see what I've made. Also, subscribe. First things first, here is the entire Wurmple family. I'm making a start by drawing the cocoons. These aren't as easy as they look to draw. There's a weird balance to consider when drawing the limbs that stretch out from the cocoon body. I want them to be consistent with Silcoon and Cascoon's official art, but also have them stand out on their own, somehow. The shape wasn't terribly difficult to get down. I know I probably could have just traced the body shape if I truly wanted one-to-one consistency, but I don't like to do that. Otherwise, why am I here? The key difference in the design between Silcoon and Cascoon are their eyes. Not only is the silk around the eye shaped differently, but the eyes themselves also contrast one another. Silcoon has a black pupil and Cascoon has a white one, or purple one, whatever color the sclera is. I'll do the same for my little guys, except they're getting 3 pupils because, you know, they're built different. For the other cocoon, I am going to do a dirty trick. I literally cloned it and changed the eye to be of a different shape. My first one is slightly reminiscent of Silcoon, whereas this one will draw more parallels to Cascoon. Their evolutions will somewhat follow suit. Another thing that really needs to be considered when it comes to the cocoons is how the silk wraps around their bodies, or in this case, some kind of skin, because canonically it will not be silk. Before we move on to coloring our beloved cocoons, we're actually going to see their evolutions, tee-hee. I'm shifting the video structure on a dime's notice. Wait, I don't think that's a saying. In fact, my only reference as to what a dime even is from SpongeBob, and I somehow don't believe it's an accurate depiction of a dime. Oh right, bugs. This guy is looking a bit like Heracross, but let me let you in on a little secret. It ain't one. It's not even a beetle. Massive oopsie maybe. Yeah, so this is based on a parasitic bug which only has like an ancient Greek name, Stripsitera. Yeah, so I don't know much else about them, to be honest. The body shape, in all honesty, yeah, I can speak today, totally. The body shape, in all honesty, is not a very accurate depiction of the bugs, but I wanted the shape to stand out a little more, otherwise it just ends up looking like a butterfree with weird wings. Speaking of the wings, they're shaped pretty strangely on the actual animal, and I really like them. They're very softly shaped, and unlike a lot of other flying insects, there's just one pair of wings, which is, you know, kinda elegant. I love the way it's reaching to the camera and it's posing. It almost puts you in the place of a Pokemon that it might be trying to grab and, I guess eat. Actually, you know what? I'm so sorry now that I really think about it. I also gave it a horn and some lines to segment its body a bit. The final touch was a mouth that isn't real at all. That's right, but you'll have to wait till we take a look at the final artwork to find out why. Now we are moving on to its counterpart, which, holy moly, oh my wow, god, it took a very long time. I have no words for how hard this was to design. It was mostly a back and forth, why am I saying this so weird? It's mostly a back and forth between deciding on the shape of the body and also the head. The thing is, I didn't have any direction for this creature. I couldn't even decide what insect I wanted it to be based on. The only important thing is that we didn't have a butterfly or a moth, because we already have those. The other criteria is that it had to be a kind of insect that formed a pupa as part of its metamorphosis. Eventually I landed on something called the tortoise beetle. It's very cute, a favorite bug of mine if I'm keeping it real with you guys. Before my very minimal research, all of my beetle knowledge was entirely formed from my years of playing Animal Crossing, so, you know, not super encyclopedic, but it was something I suppose. That, and also I listened to the Beetlejuice cast recording. I did spend ages on this one design because because I thought, you know, this is the one. Spoiler alert, this was not the one. This was the one. I was very happy with the face, and then I had a bold idea to shape it like an acorn. It's super unserious, but I had a fun lore idea that I could use to make it make sense. The wings are very round like the ones of its counterpart, but they also come in 2 pairs rather than just one. The body is actually not visible at all. What you're really seeing is an incredibly tough exoskeleton that is formed from many compacted layers of dirt, bark, and stones that it once collected as a little Wurmple. A detail I forgot to mention was actually that I kept the eyes very much the same as Beautifly and Dustox. This is not only to keep the parallel drawn between the 4 Pokemon, but also to help these new designs truly look like the matured forms of Wurmple. I also think the horn on my parasite's head really helps it stay consistent along an entire evolutionary tree as well. Finally, we're adding in the color. My cocoons are slightly purple and slightly orange, which will reference their final typings and by some extension their final forms. The purple is questionable. My parasite is going to be this very earthy green with pale yellow wings and blue eyes, and my beetle will take on a much warmer color palette with a vibrant orange and accents of red and yellow to really bring home that striking look that the original beetle is known for. So honestly, that was pretty simple. I guess it's time to take a look at Wurmple's brand new evolutions. Starting us off, we have Twycoon, the cocoon Pokemon and a pure bug type. It has the ability Rough Skin and evolves from Wurmple starting at level 7 if it has either of these natures: lonely, naughty, brave, mild, rash, or quiet. Twycoon are the most aggressive of Wurmple's evolved forms. They are commonly found around urban areas. Some consider Twycoon to be a mutated form of Silcoon. It harbors a parasite which eventually triggers its evolution. Starting at level 10, Twycoon evolves into Parafly, the twisted wing Pokemon, and a bug psychic type. It has the abilities Synchronize and Arena Trap. Parafly's mouth is purely a distraction. It uses its large horn to impale prey and drain them of their bodily fluids. Parafly takes pleasure in mind controlling its prey before eventually draining them and wearing their skin as makeshift wings. Crikey. On the other end, we have Barcoon, the cocoon Pokemon and also a pure bug type. It also has Rough Skin for its ability and evolves from Wurmple starting at level 7 if it has one of these natures: bold, impish, relaxed, calm, careful, or sassy. Wurmple that seeks shelter within the depths of the woods will collect pieces of bark which can render into a tough skin when it evolves. Barcoon is highly defensive and will indirectly hurt its attackers. Every day it becomes more solid. When Barcoon reaches level 10, it can evolve into Totrox, the tortoise beetle Pokemon, and a bug rock type. It has the abilities Shell Armor and Sturdy. After evolution, it hangs from a tree and disguises itself as an apricorn. When a Pokemon walks below, Totrox will strike. Totrox begins its life too stiff to move. It needs to stake out a first meal to begin its cycle of energy production. So those are the latest additions to Wurmple's family tree. I really hope you like them. I had a lot of fun making them. Perhaps we could turn Wurmple into the Eevee of bug types. Just keep giving it evolutions. Thanks so much for watching my video and subscribe. I put out new videos every single Fakemon Friday or Saturday if you live in Mirage Island, just like me. Also, a great big shout out to our great channel members. Thank you so much for all of your support. I really appreciate it. May you each be blessed with the wish of a Jirachi. Okay, I must now hibernate. Until next week.